we are making a return to your boy Samson, and this one is called Sincerely a Taxpayer. Now, I do see you guys' comments in the last videos. I'm gonna get to those songs one by one. I got you. Make sure you guys leave your comments of other songs to check out from this artist down below in the comment section. Like this video. Without further ado, let's get into it. Come on.
I'm hurting. I can feel my money draining. They take everything I make and you wonder why I'm complaining. I break my neck to make this money, then they just come and take it from me. My wages ain't that great in the first place. I should be paying you nothing, but they keep on coming and they keep on taking. These motherfuckers go ham on me every time I bring them the bacon. And I wonder what it's for. Ukraine, great funding a war. Have we spent enough yet? Should I guess not? Look, here they come for some more. Fuck me, I'm sore. Sucks being poor. You had the same job for the last 6 years, wasn't struggling before. Back when Trump was in office, fuck all the junk that they called him. I never saw any of the shit that people always said he was in the comments. All of it was nonsense. I ain't even trying to ride him either. I'm just saying you gotta admit that shit was fine when he was the leader.
Okay.
It was fine when
So far, definitely coming from the perspective of just a regular citizen paying his taxes, just sitting on the chair in his garage, chilling, voicing his opinion, kind of similar to the last video we saw. Him just kind of sitting in the car, so it's probably like his thing, his style of making his videos. Very down to earth, very transparent, very unfiltered, just voicing his opinion about paying taxes. You know what I mean? Living, at the median wage or below the wage on average. How tough it is. It's just trying to pay your own damn bills while paying so much. I ain't gonna lie. When you look at your check, it do be like that. When you look at your check and you see they taking out $200-300 a check, and it's like, bro, I barely have enough money to bring home and take care of my family as it is. Now you're gonna tax me in a crazy amount every time I work an hour. Every time I bring home the bacon. You know what I mean? Not leaving too much for us to take care of my family. So his frustrations definitely ring true for a lot of Americans, man. Let's just call it what it is. Let's go.
I ain't even trying to ride him either. I'm just saying you gotta admit that shit was fine when he was the leader. It was fine when he was in charge. I never saw bills as high as they are. I never got chills just literally thinking about filling up my car. It shouldn't be that way. I don't care about Russia or Ukraine, but I do care about my own country. Is that insane? I care a lot about all the tons of money that we're paying because it's mine, not yours, and I'm the one that feels the pain.
Right. So he's kind of just touching base on the conversation of why are we always in somebody else's business, fighting a war overseas and always doing something for outside countries, but we have our own problems here in America, man. We kind of touched on base on this on the last video, man, but that's a factual comment right there. But we're always involved in something. We're always involved in somebody else's business. Meanwhile, we have our own problems and financial situations to work through, bro. Let's keep it going. Come on.
Tons of money that we're paying because it's mine, not yours, and I'm the one that feels the pain. I get taxed on my fucking ass for every dime I make. It'd be fine if they would spend my money wisely, but no way. It'd be great if they would take it and pay for important shit that benefited you and me and not just wage wars with it. And where the fuck are all the liberals? I thought you stood against this shit. I thought the war machine was your enemy. Now you're friends with it? Now you want to go to war? Now you want to fight? Now you want to pick sides in a feud where everyone is white? Now you want to get involved and go and blow a person up? I'm just saying, I'm surprised this altercation ain't diverse enough. No one deserves this stuff. I just don't believe the tears you weep. Countries where brown people get bombed every day. I don't hear a peep, you fucking hypocrites. Thought the race thing was your
damn, that hold the last 4 bars. Damn, dog.
Altercation ain't diverse enough. No one deserves this stuff. I just don't believe the tears you weep. Countries where brown people get bombed every day. I don't hear a peep, you fucking hypocrites. Thought the race thing was your shtick. I thought as long as white people were involved, you don't give a shit. Those are your words, not mine. I'm just wondering why. Why do we have endless money for them and none for Hawaii? Why is it every time Zelensky needs a loan from someone, we're the only ones that give it to him like we owe him something? We got issues of our own here at home that no one's discussing, and they keep growing because no one in power is gonna do nothing. We're stuck.
That is kind of true though, bro. A lot of times when stuff goes on around the world, you know what I mean? We're like, America's like one of the only countries that kind of help and dive in and help whoever needs help. We're always the first ones on the line. We're always the last ones to leave. And a lot of times that just takes our bills up higher, takes our debt up higher, trying to support everybody in the world. You know what I'm saying? There has to come a time where like other countries help too. Shit, Europe, where y'all at? What's going on? Other countries, where y'all at? Like, it's like Shit is crazy. Come on.
Home that no one's discussing, and they keep growing cause no one in power is gonna do nothing. We're stuck. How the fuck we gonna help somebody else when we can't even reach inside our own pockets to help ourselves? We could allocate that money to our own people in different ways, to clothe and feed and bathe and let them know it'll be okay. We could definitely do that. Don't tell me it's not that simple. People overcomplicate this and make it some fucking riddle. Like, can't just feed everyone. Are you insane? You know how much that costs? Way less than we've sent to Ukraine. I know that for sure. You don't have to be a mathematician or a foreign relations expert to figure out that division. You don't have to draw a graph to see it would cost a fraction to solve half of the problems we have and stop them from happening. I'm just saying, what kind of fucking world we living in? So many billions we've given them. When's Europe chipping in? When we gonna start splitting and stirring up the dividends and begin telling other nations it's your turn to lend a hand?
Come on.
Listen, I don't think Ukraine deserves any of this, but I also don't think Zelensky is as great as they said he is. I don't believe the media when they blurt shit on their shows. You'd have to be naive to think this dude's as pure as driven snow. No one is, especially when you run.
Now, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I understand why, you know what I mean? Because the world kind of views America as we've always been the leaders, you know what I'm saying, of like free democracy and just having your own choice and being free. Well, a lot of shit going on nowadays, but for the most part, we've always been held to a higher standard to protect everybody and to be, you know what I'm saying, in everybody's country. But the only problem with that, we're in everybody's business, bro. And a lot of times, there's not really a clear way to get out of that shit. You know what I mean? So I do understand us helping Ukraine. A lot of stuff going on there and over there is crazy. And I do see the bigger picture. If we just sit back and allow Russia to kind of take over, what's stopping Russia to keep going and taking over more countries over in that area after Ukraine, which can pose a threat to America down the line. So I do, zoom out and see the bigger picture, but there has to be a better solution than to just get involved in everybody's business, you know what I mean? But let's get back into it.
On the nation, dog, you think this dude's as pure as driven snow. No one is, especially when you run a nation, dog. Your morals are compromised the minute that you take the job. So I don't trust Zelensky, Putin, Biden, or anyone. I don't think any of them give a fuck about all us little ones. All the people of Russia, all the people of Ukraine, most of the people of the USA probably feel the same. We don't want this shit, it's only the elites that do. They line their pockets, they profit from this, but not from me and you. Quite the contrary, in fact, we pay for it with our lives and money. They take chunks of everything we make. You soldiers die for nothing so they can gain some more power and keep their banks fat, and all we get is table scraps. Fuck yeah, it makes me mad. Fuck.
Bro, that's some real shit he just said. Every time we go to war, and it's like every war we've been involved in or every kind of conflict we've been involved in, it's always like people behind the scenes making profit off the war and putting that into their pockets and putting that into their banks, and these are the people that we don't even know about. We don't even know exist. They just sit in the background as their finances multiply into the billions, if not trillions. So what he's saying here is facts, bro. There's always a bigger scheme to the picture that they try to present to us. You know what I mean? So, man, we could be all day on this one, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like right now, our government is fucked. Plain and simple. Our government is fucked, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whether you Democrat or Republican, I think they're both fucked right now. And it is what it is. We can try to pick a side and who you gonna side with. But at the end of the day, I've seen both sides do some bullshit. We've seen the whole trans situation, the whole trans movement with the Democrats going into the schools, pushing the whole, that whole situation. And now we're seeing the right situation of this whole Epstein files, and now the files have been released, and people are speculating that not everything was released to the public or it was tampered with. It's just too much shit going on, bro. It's just too much shit going on, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And it's like they want us to do this. They want us to kind of go back and forth and argue because, the internet really doesn't, how should I say this? The internet isn't real. They want us to waste our time doing this kind of stuff and arguing about the right and the left. And meanwhile, they don't give a fuck about the right and the left. All they care about is the green. So while the fools down below dance and prance and they just playing puppeteer with us, they're just getting their checks off our feuds about situations that nobody really knows the truth about behind the scenes. And we'll never know the truth. Based on what I've seen over the last couple of years in our government, bro, we'll never know the truth. And they're gonna make sure that you be a fool if you would think that our government will really tell us the real deal of what's going on with the Epstein files, or what the real deal of what's going on about these conglomerate, rich, multi-billion trillionaires who nobody knows about, but they're behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, playing the fiddle, having fun while we dance as fools down here complaining about X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But that's my little riff on the government, man. We're fucked either way. What I believe in, bro, you just gotta do what's best for your family day to day. Make the best moves, of course. Accumulate the most funds for yourself to make yourself and your people around you happy. You don't have to be rich to do that. You don't have to be a millionaire, billionaire. In my opinion, once you start diving into those type of numbers, you start to be corrupt to the money. You start to turn evil. You start to get greedy, because the more money, more problems, man. Biggie said it the best, man. And that's one of the realest bars ever spit in rap. You feel me? But I digress. Let's get back to it.
More power and keep their banks fat, and all we get is table scraps. Fuck yeah, it makes me mad. Fuck yeah, I get upset. We're constantly ignored. Why the fuck I gotta pay for this? I don't want this war. How the Pentagon have $6 billion unaccounted for, but when I do my taxes, I'm afraid to be $1 short. I'm afraid I'll go to jail. I'm afraid I'll do some time if I don't pay you back the money that you wasted. That was mine. I can't keep quiet anymore. It's impossible to shut up. I'm sick and tired of being responsible for all your fuck ups. But the question is, what we gonna do about it? There's never a plan of action. All we seem to do is shout it, and I'm guilty of it too. Always bitching and complaining, never walking, always talking, always lipping off and saying I'ma do shit, but I don't. And to be honest with you, that's the reason I don't make a lot of songs, and that's the truth. I'm sick of bumping my gums. I'm tired of flapping my jibs. Something needs to be done, and I don't know if rapping is it. We need a real solution, but we need to get together first, because unless we're all in this as a whole, it'll never work. However, what do I know? I'm just a moron with a pen, but there's power in numbers, and there's more of us than them.
The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on, continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all.
Damn.
At all.
Support that boy, man. Link in the bio, and the link to this video will be in the video below. What he said was, man, listen, whether you lean left or lean right, I think on this topic, man, it really doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, all of us are taxpayers. All of us feed the machine. You know what I mean? Whether we like to acknowledge that or not, we are all a part of the problem, man. You know what I mean? I think the closing segment there from Samson was, but we have to be a part of the solution. I think he spoke on maybe he should take a break. And from what I heard in the comment section, he took like a couple years off, or a year off or something like that, from making content, making music. He's just getting tired of, maybe he feels like he's not getting enough done making music and rapping about it. You know what I mean? So very transparent, like how the other song was. Very transparent, definitely very relatable lyrics. Everybody pays taxes, you know. And there's a lot of stuff going on in our world, and a lot of stuff going on in our government that we can all agree to disagree on. I mean, we don't want to keep going to war with folks and keep bombing folks and keep, you know what I mean, and having all of those funds to fund these campaigns and all these missions comes out of our taxes, bro. Straight up. You know what I mean? So a lot of what he's saying is very relatable. It's very middle class, you know what I'm saying? Lower income folks, man. That shit hits home for real. A lot of us struggling. If you're in that range, these taxes can, but shit, that could be half your check sometimes. If you hitting that OT, shit. Anyway, man, I'll be easy out there, man. Peace.